Giraffes are the perfect example of nature's creativity. They are so popular because not only do they look cool on their own, but also because their simplicity can represent many other things. Giraffes are generally the tallest animals in the world and can easily look up into your house. They have necks that weigh about 600 pounds too. The legs of a giraffe are also 6 feet long. The back legs look shorter than the front legs, but they are about the same length. A giraffe's heart is 2 feet long and weighs about 25 pounds, and its lungs can hold 12 gallons of air. Its closest relative is the okapi. A giraffe has a lot of space between its chest and head, which is probably the reason so many people wonder if the unique animal has 2 hearts. National Geographic confirms that these gentle giants are the tallest land mammals in the world. Their necks are 6 feet long on average, which is why they need powerful cardiovascular systems. Back to our question, what do giraffes say when they communicate? Cows moo, lions roar, and dogs bark. But for many years, it's been assumed that except for the occasional snort, giraffes spent most of their lives in a tight-lipped silence. New research from a group studying animal sounds at the University of Vienna suggests giraffes might not be so quiet after all. They spend their evening humming. It's not clear what tune they're humming, but it's important in social structure. For decades, zookeepers reported occasional snorts as the only sounds their charges made. The conventional explanation was that the long necks of giraffes caused their taciturn nature. Giraffes do have larynx voice box, but perhaps they couldn't produce sufficient airflow through their 13-foot-long 4-meter trachea to vibrate their vocal folds and make noises. The researchers suspected the reason no one heard Giraffe communication was because the sound frequency was too low for humans to hear. Elephants and other large animals use an ultra-low frequency rumble for long-distance communication. Why not giraffes? So, they recorded giraffes at 3 zoos, compiling more than 938 hours of giraffe sounds over an 8-year period. That's a lot, and plowing through all that data seems to have worn on the researchers a bit. In their paper, they note, exploring giraffe vocal communication turned out to be time-consuming, tedious, and very challenging. We strongly suggest developing an automatic system that helps analyze a great amount of acoustic data. What made it so very tiresome was the researchers didn't listen to the recordings, they visually examined them. They were looking for specific patterns of low-frequency sounds with harmonic structure. They found them, and the pattern is distinctive. The humming sounds only occurred at night, and the average hum was about 92 Hz in frequency, which isn't infrasound, but still on the low end for human hearing.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
When the researchers played the sounds back to giraffe keepers and zoo managers, they'd never heard them before. Giraffes have excellent vision, so their primary means of communication is thought to be visual signals during daylight hours. As prey animals, it also makes sense that they might not want to make loud noises that can attract the attention of predators. But when vision is impaired at night, low-frequency humming might be a great way to make sure the herd stays together. I wasn't able to reach the researchers themselves, but I did talk to Christopher Basu of the Royal Veterinary College, University of London, about humming giraffes and anatomy. He told me the giraffe larynx, which includes the vocal folds, the things that vibrate to make noise, is similar to the horse. Giraffes have the correct hardware to make vocal noises, but they just don't, or we thought they didn't until this new research. The scientists calculated the relationship between vocal fold, length, and sound production, and giraffe humming fell roughly where it should have. Giraffes actually hummed a bit more vigorously than predicted, which suggested some very interesting questions about their 13-foot trachea to Basu. To my knowledge, no one has ever measured air speed when giraffes exhale. It would be a fantastic experiment. You'd have to persuade a giraffe to blow into a straw. What are giraffes saying with their nocturnal humming? We don't know. The new research identified the sounds but provides no context for matching them to behavior, since giraffes only hum in the dark. Matching the sound production to what's happening in a giraffe society is the next step and will require some fairly high-level night vision instrumentation and some really dedicated researchers to plow through reams of giraffe data. Maybe in this case, they are humming because we don't know the words. But why the humming? Meredith Basho at the Franklin and Marshall College of Lancaster, Pennsylvania says that she can imagine a few potential roles for this humming. It could be passively produced like snoring or produced during a dreamlike state, like humans talking or dogs barking in their sleep, she says. Alternatively, it could be a way for giraffes to communicate with each other in the dark when vision is limited to say, "Hey, I'm here." She adds, unfortunately Stoger says she and her colleagues were not able to observe the giraffes mid-hump. So, we don't know about the behaviors associated with the sounds, but vocalizations and other species with similar social structures know when to convey information about things like age, gender, sexual arousal, dominance, or reproductive, she says. John Doherty at Queen's University Belfast studies giraffes in Samburu Reserve in northern Kenya. I have once come across audible vocalization reminiscent of the recordings again in a captive giraffe, he says, but in this case, the giraffe was clearly disturbed by a husbandry procedure being carried out on its calf in a separate but visible enclosure.